Awesome. Joe, thank you so much for joining us and for doing this for our team so we can learn from your wisdom, tips, and tricks that you've learned in your time in Isogenics. I know that some of our team know who you are, but for those who might not, or for those who might watch this at a later date, I'd love if you could just introduce yourself, where you currently are in your Isogenics business, and also how you got into Isogenics.
Of course. Hi, team. Excuse me, I just literally got home from the gym. See, like I'm being a product of the product. I'm so sweaty. I haven't even had a shower, so I'm glad that you're not in my office with me. So I'm Jo. I'm so excited to chat to you all. I have been in Isogenics for 2.5, nearly 3 years ago, actually. I started using the products, like probably most of you, just to get healthy, lose a bit of weight, sleep better, manage stress, all the rest of it. I used the products for about 5 months before I started doing the business. I shared with maybe 5 people in 5 months. So, just like mum, dad, my sister, like we all do really, kind of started with that very easy, warm market. I worked in the corporate sector. So I'd been in corporate for 15 years. I was a general manager in the corporate world. So if there's anyone watching this that says they don't have time to build this business, I call you out on that, because that's rubbish. Like, you do have time. I worked 12 plus hours a day, and I'm not saying that to go, oh my God, how amazing am I? I'm just saying I caught the vision. I got to an event. So I hope that all of you watching are coming to Celebration, because, events change your life. We never know who we need to hear from or what we need to hear until we actually get into that seat. And that was what happened to me. I got to an event because I was promised champagne and fun. Like, really, I wasn't going because it was work. I just love partying, and, I like fun, like probably all of you. And then I got to an event and I saw Jen Patch on stage. And she was a health professional like me. She also was the #1 income earner for Australia and New Zealand, which I thought was amazing. And I'd watched her and Jono's Millionaire Story on a video a few weeks earlier. So I knew who she was, and she started talking about network marketing, and it really made me sit there and realize that this wasn't just for people that couldn't get a real job. That actually, as a professional, I could look at it. So I did, and I came out of that event and I said to my husband, who's a personal trainer, we are doing this. This is my out from corporate. I loved corporate. I earned great money, but I had no time. Like, no time. And I'm sure lots of you know what that's like. So I just, got to work. I got to work, and we'll talk about what that looked like. And fast forward 2 years, we just, over Christmas, I ran a big campaign with our team, and we rank advanced to 5-star. And we've personally developed 2 executives, which is exciting. Like, this is such an exciting time to be in Isogenics, guys.
I completely agree with that, and I also think that there was like a lull, and then now like the momentum is building up again, which is really amazing. So actually that ties into my first 2 questions, and that was, how did you best manage your time to be most effective, considering how much you were working, but also with how the internet and social media has changed the game and where you think Isogenics is currently. What would you do if you were getting started today, or what do you best advise your teams on the most effective things?
Yes, absolutely. So I'll start with that part of the question first. So, if you're just starting now, or if you've got somebody that is just starting now, I just think we need to keep it really simple. I do a Facebook post. You guys, like, you'll be way more across social media than me. I suspect that most of you in this team are younger than me. Like, I had to teach myself Facebook to do this business. I haven't built my business through Facebook, but I use Facebook to build my business. I do a lot of networking, coffees, all of that stuff. I would do a launch party, a sip and sample, a babes and bubbles, whatever you guys call it, but make it fun. Like, if you're new to this and you want to get your products paid for, or you have somebody who actually wants to run with this business and see what's possible, get them paid. Like, that's my favorite thing to do. The best way to show people what this opportunity is really all about is to get them paid. Get them double PIBs by inviting some people over for a launch party. Press play on a video, taste some products, have some replenish or some bubbly, whatever you want, and just have some fun and really start growing that community. That's what we did. It's what we tell everyone to do.
Awesome.
I can't remember the question now.
The being most effective considering you had 12-hour days.
Okay, so I just had to get really smart with my time. And I actually ran a training session on our team page about exactly this on Sunday. So, you know, in very short, you know, get your calendars out or your diaries. I'm sure you've all got Isagenix diaries. And if you haven't, they're so worth the investment. Like, they are the bomb. Get those out and look at your week and write down your non-negotiables. Like, what can't you miss? Well, you can't miss sleeping, eating, working if you guys are working, looking after children if you've got children. And then what are your negotiables? Is it TV? Is it, you know, what can you get rid of to build this business? Because I had to get rid of stuff. Yes, I was never a big TV watcher, so that wasn't a big loss for me. But, you know, I to be honest, I didn't socialize with friends as much as I should have. I know that we're network marketers, but I had to be very I had to just be very focused, you know, as Lynn Hagedorn says, like, you have to have laser focus. I spent every Sunday, I'd go into my corporate office because no one else was around, and I'd build my Isagenix business at that desk, which I think is pretty funny now. Lucky no one in my team ever came in. But, you know, like, I had to do that. I had to be away from my family every Sunday for a whole year to really build it, because that's what it took. But, you know, just don't sit down with your phone and go, oh, what am I doing today? Like, write down your plan. You know, I know that if it's Monday, I'm doing reach out messages and connecting. I know that if it's Tuesday, I'm doing follow-ups. I know that if it's Wednesday, I am, you know, inviting people to events, and that's either sip and samples, or it's big corporate events, or it's opportunity meetings, whatever it is, and so on. And break up your week. If you've got 10 hours, you need to spend, if you're reasonably new, or in fact for anybody, you need to spend a good 4 hours of that reaching out and connecting. And you need to spend probably 3 hours of it following up, because the fortune is in the follow-up. And obviously then supporting your people and inviting them to events.
I love that. I've only ever heard Heidi McCallan mention how she splits her days. So going into that, when you say you're reaching out to people on Monday and connecting, is that you're reaching out to people to just create chat on Facebook? Is that you saying, hey, do you want to do the cleanse? Is that you calling people? You know, because I think so often sometimes when people are new, we say, go fly your wings and talk to people. But how do you find that you are most effective now, 2.5 years on, where I'm sure a lot of your warm market do know what this is and do know where you're at?
Yeah, very good question. So yeah, a significant amount of it is connecting with people on Facebook. So maybe it's going back to people that you know, had a price objection before, and maybe we've got a deal on, or I've got people in the UK that had a price objection. So right now I'm using, you know, use the incentives, use the promotions. Like right now, if you've got people, you know, in the UK, like, there is never a better time to join Isagenix. I suspect it will never be this cheap again. Like, it is amazing. So using those incentives. I pick up the phone, but I'll be honest, I only pick up the phone when I've got an appointment with someone, because I don't have time. None of us have got time. I don't have time to dial. But I do a lot of voice messaging. And you know.
So Jo, with those voice messages, is it like what Nat said, like you're reaching out with the intent of, obviously, I don't know if you say it's Isagenix off the bat, or is it more just that rapport you're building?
Building rapport first, but if so I wouldn't leave a voice message if I'm actually doing a reach out about joining my health program. I'd type that. And then I just have a standard reach out message that I use that I think works really well. It's not too long. It's just, hey, I don't know if you've seen what I'm doing. I think you would love this program. I target a lot of people that were like me, or people that are like me, professionals, corporate, stress. So I tend to go that angle. But obviously if it's someone who's a mum like me, who I know is maybe a stay-at-home mum, then I'll go that kind of mummies need lots of, you know, we need to look after ourselves. I'll go that angle. But I really just, but then it's once I'm actually chatting to someone that, yeah, I'll definitely leave voice messages, especially inviting people to events. Like they can't hear that energy and excitement in your voice, can they? If like they're just reading.
Yeah, I agree.
So do you find with those voice messages, those reach out messages, and we actually do a very similar thing, so that's good to know that we are on the same page there. But no doubt you get a lot of people that look at it, don't respond at all, seen, which is normal, because I think some people think, oh, you know, this just happens to me, but it does happen to everyone, doesn't it?
It happens to everyone. Oh my gosh, guys, I've enrolled. I'm not a massive enroller. I'm not a small, you know, I think my husband and I have enrolled 120 people in 2 and a bit years of really building the business. So that's only one a week. It's not big. Obviously we have big weeks where we do loads of people, but oh my goodness, I have like enrollment droughts as well. Like we all do. It's so important in this business to keep your mind strong. Like this is where it's at. And obviously you two girls, I can see you've got it nailed. We're all human, right? Just because I'm 5-star, and guys, when people rank advanced to a rank, it doesn't mean that we're cycling at 5-star every week either. Like, don't look at these people up on stage if you're coming to celebration and think that we're any different to you guys. Because I was once cycling once a week, and then I was excited because I was cycling twice a week, and then my isopulse would go off, and I'd go, oh my gosh, we just cycled and I did nothing. I mean, obviously I did something, but it wasn't today, you know, and that is so exciting. And you know, guys, if you're watching this and you haven't hit the 5 cycle bonus yet, go for 5 cycles. Like that is my favorite bonus. I'm talking about it at Celebration. It's the best bonus because it shows people what's possible. If they can get to 5, they can get to 10. If they can get to 10, they can get to 20. And if you can get to 20, you can get to 5-star, and I'm going platinum. So, you know, who's coming with me?
I love that, Jo.
So no doubt you're speaking at Celebration about the 5 cycle. Just quickly, if someone said to you, look, Jo, I want to hit my 5 cycle bonus, what are the steps you lay out to them?
Absolutely. So I would, I'm a businesswoman, right? And I believe that we need to be. So, or a businessman if you're a guy. So I would sit with them either on Zoom or, you know, they'd be next to me and I'd have their back office open and I'd look at both of their legs and I'd look at who they've got. I'd open their their blueprint report, and I would look at what auto ships. Like if you said to me last week that it was this week coming, then I'd go, right, what auto ships have you got coming on left and right? So we could work out your anticipated cycles. And then I'd look at, you know, what side obviously had stored BV. I would actually break it down, how many enrollments you need on each side. And then obviously if that person is fortunate enough at that stage to have someone sharing, awesome. How about Sue's getting great results. Let's do a little tasting party for her. Let's see if we can enroll 2 of her friends. That'll give you X amount of BB. And, you know, over here, you're going to need to personally enroll 2 people this week on premium packs or ultimates, and that's going to give you BV over here. So I do that with my team when they're going for 3, 4-star and so on, because doing that exercise and really writing it down, I'm not a detail person, but I love the numbers. You know, I remember very clearly one of our team rank advanced to 3-star in that same week that we did to 5-star, and she didn't think she could get there until we wrote it all down. And she saw, right, I've got all these people building and all they have to do is this many, that many does it, and I only have to do this many. It's a team effort. It's done. So there's so much knowledge so much power in knowledge.
That's actually a great thing in terms of breaking it down. I was going to ask Jo, you have developed 2 Crystal Executives, and I was curious as to what are your non-negotiables, or what is the way that you mentor people along the journey so they kind of actually see the vision, because it's not a 3-minute business plan, and really kind of go long term with you.
Look, I think everyone does this really differently. I had a good chat with someone about this yesterday. So, you know, I'll be completely honest. My mentoring style, you know, I worked for 15 years in corporate. I led teams I managed 100 people. And so I know how to coach people. I know how to mentor them. And whether you're in corporate or whether you're in Isogenics, it's about investing in people and giving them time and energy and love. And sometimes that love is tough love. It's not, oh my God, I think you're amazing all the time. Like I do a lot of that. And I definitely don't give up on people who are doing the work. If someone isn't doing the work, if they're not doing the info sessions, if they're not doing reach outs or getting involved in blitz days that we run, then I can't coach them because there's only so much of my time. But if someone shows me that they're serious and they commit to a 90-day game plan, for example, then our job as coaches is to give that person everything. Like give them, as Jen Schultz talks about this, I'm sure, or it might have been Lynn Hagedorn, you invest more in that person than you've ever invested in anyone, because you could actually change their life. And in doing that, your life is going to change.
I love that. Going on to that, how do you organize your blitz days and your 90-day action plans? Because I think there's the idea of I commit to this, but what does that mean for you when you say, guys, we're doing this? Like if we were in your team, what would you say, this is what I expect for this week coming?
Yeah, so I just started one yesterday, so that's a great question. So I have pretty high expectations, but I never run a 90-day game plan with more than 10 people. That's just something I've learned from, Brett and Sammy. And not saying that that's all they do, but for me, you can really pour love and support into 10 people at a time. And that team get really tight together. We have a Facebook page. A lot of them are in the UK for this round. So right now they're focusing on just blitzing and the promotion and getting people enrolled. Most of them are in a derby team or in an ISA rally team in the UK. So, they're very much, I guess part of it is, I don't have people in a 90-day game plan that are not already committed. They're already running. They may be, some of them in my last one, I ran a 90-day game plan over that last, that Christmas period. And it's when we rank advanced so many of our team in that 1 week. I chose people based on their posture and based on the activity that they were already doing, not their rank, not their, two of them actually weren't even at consultant when that game plan started, but I just knew that they had what it took and I poured belief into them. They're both manager now. One of them's manager 1-star, so part of it is, and I talk about this at Celebration too, guys, but part of it is being very clear on who you want in your team. Are you being very clear and intentional about, what you're posting on Facebook, what you're putting out to the world without being all woo-woo?
Mm-hmm. So do you find with those 10, obviously because you have pre-qualified them, by the end of the 90 days, are all 10 still there?
This round they were. Yeah, the one I've just
amazing.
Done. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie, that was my first 90 days that I've run. So I've done other ones that corporate have run. This is the first one I've gone, and I work with Brett. I work with Brett and Sammy really closely. I'm really lucky. And they said to me, right, pick up your 10 people, your 10 runners and go. And it was such a success that we're doing another one with that same group. And I've just added in 3 more people into that group to kind of pick them up and have them join that energy.
I was actually going to ask you that about whom you're mentored by. Obviously, Brett and Sammy do incredibly well, so I'm sure they do pass down their here's how to do it, etc. So from the years that you've been a part of their team and been mentored by them, what do you think are, the 2 to 3 key pieces that you kind of have landed with you and that you keep in your business to really treat it like a business?
So first of all, I'll be completely honest. For probably the first 6 months, Lara enrolled me. We've been best mates for 20 years. We kind of just, when I say we did our own thing, we used Isagenix Business. We plugged into all the podcasts, all the training calls that were available. We were kind of just doing it by ourselves, if that makes sense. We were on Brett and Sammy's page, but it really wasn't until we started humming that obviously they were like, right, you guys are on fire. Do you need some help? But what I really want you guys to all hear right now is you don't need an upline to do this business. You don't need a sponsor who's doing the business. Lara Nichols is on fire. You guys, I'm sure all know her. Her sponsor doesn't do the business. She should. She'd have one leg entirely built for her, right? But, she doesn't do the business. Heidi McCallum's sponsor doesn't do the business. This is about leverage. Like, you know, if you guys need help and support, exactly what's happening. Like, I'm on this call because, you know, to help you guys and to help you to leverage your knowledge base and your skills. So anyone watching, like, anybody can do this. It doesn't matter where you are on someone's tree. The biggest thing that we've been mentored by Brett and Sammy. We've done a lot with Jimmy and Bernadette as well, who are also our upline. So we work with whoever we need to work with at a given time to get what we need, because we're business people. And what I love about Isagenix is all you have to do is ask. Like, everyone will help you, which is amazing. The biggest thing that I've taken, though, from them is just belief that I can. And that I could right from the start. When I was cycling once a week, I always believed that I could do this. But when I had those moments that we all have, because we're human, that I didn't think I could, then it was just a phone call. Or, to be honest, for me, I plug in more to podcasts. But if you haven't listened to Lynn Hagedorn's Mindset of a Millionaire, like, it is amazing. I love it.
Yeah, it is actually a goodie, isn't it? I have it in my car, and I used to listen to it just all the time. She makes it sound so simple.
Exactly. Yeah, it is. That's right.
I love that. Because I believe and agree with the avatar around getting clear on whom you want to attract. I think we're kind of coming into the age where people are wanting Isagenix too from the front end for a business opportunity. Being a businesswoman yourself, it's exactly, I've realized that you've got to go for the people of high caliber because they know what work is. So how do you present, I guess, the opportunity to people who are, you know, making six figures or multiple six figures? Like, how's that conversation for you crafted?
Yeah, look, and I think it's that you can't really craft it, because obviously every conversation is different. Most of the people that I'm having those conversations with, you know, I maybe used to work with, or look, I'm not going to lie. Most of the time, I lead with the health first.
Yeah.
Obviously, I offer the full opportunity every time because we have to. But in my experience, most of the time, I'm going to have more success offering it to someone because they have lots of stress, or they need, you know, blah, 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 all of that energy. They need more energy, everyone that works in corporate. So I start with that, and then I'll tell them they know what I'm doing, right? Like, they know that I left corporate. I made a big song and dance about it, obviously. But then it's really about, right, so you're getting awesome results. You feel amazing. And I just drop little, you know, little nuggets, little seeds every so often. And then I really talk to them about time, because the biggest thing that people who are busy in corporate, which is my market, what they're missing is time. Yeah. Time for themselves, time for their friends, time for their family if they've got a family. So I just talk to them about my life now, and the opportunity. And that's very much what I drop in on my Facebook posts, very, you know, subtly, I think, as well.
Absolutely. That's amazing. We have just enough time for one more question, if that's okay.
Of course.
Now, you've said, and I think we can feel it in your enthusiasm, that it is the most exciting time right now to be in Isagenix. So, I mean, obviously you've said you're going to platinum, which I believe 100%. But if you were to say to someone, this is where Isagenix is going, and this is why you need to be on it, like, not just the products, I mean, like on the train.
On the bus.
Yeah. What do you find is that vision for what you would share?
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, I think at the end of the day, you'd have to be hiding under a rock to not realize that, you know, the way that everything is trending about health, right? People are more health conscious, intermittent fasting, like, people actually know what it is now. Even 2 years ago when I started, I had no idea, and I'm a health professional. You know, it's a much easier conversation now. People are more prepared to invest in their bodies. They're more prepared to invest in their health and in themselves. People are getting busier and busier and busier, and that's not going to slow down. So we have something that will not only give them health, but it gives them convenience. Yeah. And so where do I see it going? Like, I don't think any of us have any idea. Like, this is just going to be massive. And you can be on it or you can watch these girls because these guys are going to platinum. I can tell. Like, you can watch them or you can do it with them. And that's how we run our team. We're very much, you can go at whatever pace you want. We're going at this pace because this opportunity is enormous. And quite frankly, you know, and I've had periods where I've gone a little bit slow, but my slow is probably not everyone's slow. I don't really stop and slow down. But, you know, you can do this fast or you can do it slow. It's kind of like ripping off a Band-Aid. You do the same work anyway. And when you go fast, you just get into so much momentum, and you guys are going fast. I know that. So just keep going fast. Talk to as many people as you can. Do not make assumptions. Like, don't assume. Like, so many people wouldn't have brought this up with me. They might have told me I needed it to lose some baby weight, but they wouldn't have told me about the wealth opportunity because I earned money, great money already, and I had no time. But actually, I was crying out inside to get out of that every day. I was so stuck. So just don't make assumptions. You know, we've got doctors in our team that work on the ED at night, and one of them's just told me the other day, you know, it's very hush-hush, so I won't say her name, but come 1st of July, she's doing Isogenics that's it. She's giving up working on the ED. I know. How cool is that? She gets to help more people this way.
It is absolutely incredible what Isogenics has done for people and what we continue to see. Do you have any parting words, Jo?
Just come to celebration. Like, basically to see Laura Stevens, not to see me. I'm so excited about seeing Laura Stevens. Like, she is the most amazing trainer, amazing woman. Like, come, you know, whether you love learning, fun, new products, like whatever you love, there is something for everyone. And if you haven't been to a corporate event, it will change your life. I had no idea when I flew up to the Gold Coast 2 years and maybe 3 months ago how much my life was going to change. And I'm so grateful that Lara made me come, because she could have easily just gone, oh, well, she won't be interested. She doesn't have time.
Amazing. I'm going to stop the record.